I want to start a series called Games I Like or something similar where I can just nerd out and talk about games I've played that I really enjoyed and highlighting some of the mechanics in them. The first game I want to do for this is something I've been playing quite a lot recently, and that's RoboCop Rogue City. I nabbed this bad boy during the Steam summer sale and thought it could be interesting. It looked like an action-packed FPS with an engaging story, and he's a cyborg. Those are cool, right? I mean, until AI takes over everything. But I'm also going to preface this by saying I've never watched any of the RoboCop movies, but I know who he is, if that makes sense. Like, I know he's a dude that died at work and then his manager was like, "You're still coming in, right?" And then they hacked him back together into a cyborg. Again, the way things are going, I think we're only a few years away from that being real. For the most part, the story's quite simple. You play as RoboCop in what I believe is old Detroit, and you are tasked with fighting crime and upholding the law. And now there's a new villain called the New Guy in the city who's moving his narcotics called Nuke, and it's up to you to restore order. The characters and dialogue give off a really cheesy 80s action vibe. I would have thought the developers wanted to make it more appealing to an audience for today, but they kept it on theme and it worked. I quite enjoyed it. Like, one of the characters working with you, Anne Lewis, was just so carefree in some situations. And I'm like, you were just shot at, why aren't you worried? But then she takes some gum she was chewing and uses it to fix some wires so we can use an elevator. Brilliant stuff. There's a good blend of action and crime investigation that you do in the game, along with side missions which are activated by talking to citizens in the city. There's a mission early on in the game where you're asked to help the front desk at the station by talking to a long line of citizens waiting to file a report. And the scenarios they have are hilarious. Like, look at this dude.
"Officer, I have a problem. My neighbors are hostile toward me. I think it's because they're jealous of my new dog. Why would they get so worked up every time I take him for a walk?
What is his name?
He has a beautiful red coat, so I called him Fire. He likes to hide, so sometimes I have to yell, 'Fire! Fire!' to find him. Anyway, can you do something about my neighbors?"
And it felt pretty good upholding public trust. I really felt like I was in RoboCop's robo shoes. By far my favourite thing to do was to shoot down waves of bad guys, and the actual shooting and combat was done quite well. You're not running and gunning or taking cover like how you would play a typical FPS. Instead, you're a giant tank of a man who can break down doors, so you can take more than a few hits and take your time to assess the situation and plan how you want to tackle it. And there's a few fun ways you can do it, like you could shoot at them, grab items and throw at them, or grab the enemies themselves and throw them at walls or at other enemies. As someone who's played a lot of Black Ops 6 and used to shooting while diving, this is a nice change of pace. Investigating crime in the level is also quite fun. You have a scanner that RoboCop uses to detect things in the level like evidence, nuke, health packs. Kinda like the detective vision in the Batman Arkham games. And from gaining evidence, your case becomes stronger and you'll earn more skill points which can be used to upgrade things like combat, armor, engineering, focus, deduction, and so on. Those then let you do things like open safes, scan more complex pieces of evidence, and control electronics. Side note, you can also heal yourself in the game if you find a fuse box and I guess plug yourself in, but that's only if you upgraded the vitality skill. It's a bit silly, but I love that type of playful mechanic, especially in a dark setting like this. I also thought it was really cool that you could headshot the enemies twice, once in the face and once below the belt, if you know what I mean.
Let's just say he's 2 olives short of a martini.
That's not to say they were easy to take down. A lot of these enemies were pretty durable. It took me like 4 or 5 shots to the chest to take them down. Must be all that nuke they take. It does make me want to watch the RoboCop movie, but I fear I might not get as much enjoyment out of it because now I'd rather be RoboCop instead of watch it. But if I had watched the movie first then played this, I'd be having an absolute blast. I will say, one of the only negative things about this game is the optimization. I thought it was just my machine, but after reading a lot of reviews, other people had similar issues. I had everything set to low, which is why the textures seem a bit chunky in my playthrough. I also want to give some bonus points because it was made with Unreal Engine, and as someone who's diving deep into Unreal Engine 5, it's always quite cool to see what kind of games can be made with it. But yeah, this isn't a review of any kind, I just wanted to talk about games I like and geek out a bit. If you enjoy this video, please make sure to like it and subscribe for more game dev content. Okay, bye!